Someone remarked that the awardees today represent the best of a feminine trinity. And I couldn't be more pleased to share this recognition today with Bishop April Larson and Sheila Garrity. Sheila, the quintessential beatitude woman who brings about God's desire for the world in many known and, yes, unknown ways. She and I actually have some secrets in our community and beyond. Bishop Larson, a recognized church leader, facilitator, inspired reconciler. Congratulations, my friends. A special note of thanks is due to those who nominated me, and especially to the Bethany St. Joseph Corporation for providing this public venue where we can equally demonstrate our baptismal call. While it is not always possible to share the same stage because of the boundaries of doctrine and governance in our churches, even within our own churches, I must say, this award highlights the gospel that is proclaimed in a way that has no boundaries. There are times, I think, when God really intended that divine wisdom needs to be expressed in many forms of faith, so that the prism of God's goodness is given full exposure. And I would also like to recognize my FSPA sisters. I was stopped on the street one day by a gentleman in this room and said, "Congratulations to you, but you know, this is really about FSPA." So all my sisters who are here, please stand and accept this award with me. All of us together in this event offer a precious service to the gospel by blending our voices in love and harmony. Ecumenical academician I am not. I have no academic degrees in ecumenical theology. I have never worked on an international commission recording and interpreting the results of worldwide consultations on theological issues like communion, baptism, ordination, ministry. It's my brother who's done that. Practitioner in a few limited instances is the best I can say for myself. St. Francis is sometimes called a vernacular or practical theologian. So I am satisfied to think of myself as an everyday, perhaps an eclectic ecumenist, witnessing to the Franciscan openness to the work of the Spirit in the lives of all people of faith. My ecumenical experience began in a little town in West Virginia with the biblical name of Philippi, where I spent 2 years working in a Baptist college. Now just imagine a Catholic sister living my faith and my vocation on a Baptist campus. There wasn't any choice but to enter into dialogue with my Baptist, Episcopalian, and other than Catholic confreres. I found myself leading prayer from time to time at the weekly chapel services on the college campus, accompanying the local performances of the Messiah and Bach's Mass in B minor. Bach was a Lutheran, you know. And teaching Gregorian chant to the college music majors. They were totally mystified by all the punctums, melismus, scandicus, and podatus in Gregorian chant. The persons who got me involved there on an ecumenical level were Ray Shaw and his wife Ann. Ray was one of the first deacons to be ordained in the post-Vatican II Catholic Church, and I couldn't be more than pleased that he is here today as I receive this award. Some years later, I found myself with an Orthodox iconographer and a religious community of Sisters of the Byzantine Rite, teaching and learning about Greek iconography in Hungary, Slovakia, and Romania. By partaking together from the palette of Christ's essence among us, we sought a fulfilled image of that which we sought. And what we sought was a beatitude life of relationship to one another in community, in local and in world transformation. It was interesting to observe how we wrote with lines, color, and hues the numinous nuances of God alive in us. For me, the spiritual discipline of the arts has provided a methodology needed for dialogue in many different kinds of situations. For example, it is only after hours and hours and days of practice that a musician can stand on the stage and announce her message. As well, writing icons or any type of artist endeavor teaches about the power of process, patience, and the striving for the ultimate. Think, for example, of the lessons learned by an accidental smudge on gold leaf, the creativity needed to mix colors for a hue imagined in the mind's eye, or the blending of one's voice in harmony with others. The iconographers and musicians in this room know what I am talking about. As in the art, dialogue requires attentiveness to the other and keen listening to hear the polyphony of the religious universe. It's about praying in each other's energy fields, and in that reverent stance before God, communally manifesting the presence of God among us. In the time of Francis, as you may know, there weren't any Lutherans or Calvinists, Unitarians or Baptists, only Catholics and Cathars and Paterini, Waldensians and Muslims. They all had a certain penchant for the gospel, an evangelical penchant. Francis made no judgment on any of them. He simply lived his faith in a radical way, even in the midst of a greedy merchant father, warring uncles, confused clerical leaders. Francis committed himself to a relationship to God in the deepest way, and in the end, all he could say was, "Who are you, O God, and who am I?" So that same pulsing mystery of the same sacred source of love beckons us today to unite around the realities of our time. In this time of religious pluralism, I hope we can continue to know more fully the God beyond all naming through those we are called to serve. And there we will find meaning both for ourselves and for the sake of the entire community of life on this planet. Thank you so much for this honor.